You?
All right, good. So I was just kind of doing a recap. We're going to go over, we went over the Excel spreadsheet in the last video, as well as the county recorder's office website and kind of Google Maps, how we look at this stuff. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to add on the Excel spreadsheet basically what the county assessor, the most recent county assessor's value for that. And so if I'm going to start sharing my document. Hold on.
Are
Let
you
me
saying
start.
that there's a more recent assessment than the 2012 one?
Yeah, the city data basically gives government. I really don't know where they get their data, but the county assessor is going to be more up to date than uh, than than the city data. The city data lags pretty far behind. So I guess what I'm going to do here is ARV. I'm going to add in this insert tax assessor value. Value. So in this case, I believe it was like 178, something like that. So this is basically what the tax assessor is putting stuff valued at. Now, any questions since we last talked? Anything about the city data? I think to answer the city data question, let's just go with what's I guess the highest number, but kind of look at it, kind of make your own assessment, seeing what kind of fits what's going on with that market. So I'll kind of leave it up to you guys. But if I had to go one or the other, I'd basically go off that graph, kind of that gets a nice detailed information. But you'll see why I say I'll kind of leave it up to you, because I think the 2012 information that was shown on city data was a little bit better of information. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was show you guys is Zillow and how I was able to use Zillow. So this property is right here. Orland Hills, Illinois. All right, something I want to show you is that this property is actually listed. So
Oh wow.
what this is going to show, and I'm going to show you a little trick of the trade. So this one's currently listed. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,000 square feet. Now on this one, you're actually going to see the inside of it. There's a heater, a water heater, air conditioning, probably not. That's a heater. Now, I don't know how well this is showing up, but one of the things I noticed right off the bat is it's clean. There's nothing in it, so it's a vacant house. Duh. But if you look at the windows, the windows have been replaced. So stuff like that is important. The windows have been replaced. Also, what you notice if you go back is that the windows are not boarded up, which means that this house is safe enough to keep vacant. So I just want to point that out. Now, on this house, what do you notice in this picture, Alex?
Um, it's it's clean.
It's clean. Okay. What's happened is there's a couple things. That these are brown cabinets, and there's a stainless steel sink.
It looks
And
pretty new. Like a lot of things have been replaced.
no, this is an old house. Those are outdated furnitures. I don't know if it's not coming up very clearly, but it's
Okay.
outdated. It's
I see
very
this yellow sticker, so I assumed that meant like they had replaced it.
yes. I was gonna. You're very correct. That has been replaced, which means you don't have to buy a new dishwasher. Now, for the most part, this stuff is outdated. There is a basement, but right here if you see the stove, that is a very small, outdated stove. So all this stuff is outdated. Everything's hardwood floors. If you noticed, they went in
Right.
and they've just put hardwood floors everywhere in this house, which tells me that it's not the biggest quality. This random glass window, if you look through, again, stuff's painted. Somebody painted on this. There's carpet here. Again, the windows, I'm kind of going through this fast, but I want to show you what I'm looking at. This house has not been improved. It has just been up to sellable standards. Now, here's the bathroom. The bathroom's in fair condition, meaning it can be used. So the kitchen countertops looks like it may have been replaced. The toilet's probably been replaced. This, although it's still outdated stuff, the window looks like it's fairly new. It has been replaced. This is the living room or a bedroom. Blinds are old. So it's really, in terms of stuff you have to get done, things have been replaced, but for the most part, see that tile? That's original tile right at the bottom. So for the most part, it's in, I would say, livable condition, but it's not, and nothing's really new on this house. Now, one of the things I want to show you when you look at this, if you scroll down on Zillow, they're actually going to give you a price history. Now, this price history kind of shares with us how long this property's been on the market. It's been on the market. It started off at 174,000, 164, 156, 149. It's been going down and down. 140, 135. Okay.
Right.
130, 35, and now it's at 25. Now it's down to 20. It's with, the source is with auction.com. Okay.
Okay.
The reason I bring that up is because this house is not selling at all.
Right.
Now, if you go down to neighborhoods, what you're going to see is you're going to see the subject property here, and you're going to see other houses for sale. Now, there are a couple of yellow dots. These yellow dots, if you click on the one yellow dot, it's going to tell you right here, this home sold for 145 back in, I don't know if you can see that, May 22nd of 2014. What I want you to do is I want you to copy all this all the way down to where it says home sold. Right click, copy it. You're going to go to your Excel spreadsheet, and the area where you actually created in the Excel spreadsheet, what I want you to do is put the address of the home that we're doing. In this case, you take a step back. It's 16772 Haven.
Right.
So right here, go 16772 Haven. And all you're going to do is you're just going to paste the information right there.
And this second sheet that you've made on Excel is for the comparables of that one house.
Correct. So just resize it to 12, and what you now have is you have a record of kind of what properties are selling for on this property.
Right.
So this house, 900 square feet, sold for 145 back 4 months ago. So let's go back to if you scroll down, you're going to see there's other homes for sale. This one went for 90. There's one that went for 174. Let's look at the one for 90. Now, this one for 90 sold in 2013. This one's a little older than I want to use. So again, just go straight down from Zillow. And, this one sold for 205. Let's take a look at that one. This is 2 stories. This one has pictures. you know, nicely cleaned up. Those are new cabinets, by the way. Do you see that?
Okay, yeah.
And see the stove, how much bigger the stove is, and see, look
Right.
at the flooring. It's tile flooring. This one has been updated.
Right.
So it's not that expensive. New door put on. This is a 2-story house, so it's a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to share with you on this one is this one probably isn't a really good comp. 1,800 square feet. This one sold. We can put it down if you want, but let's just copy this one and I'll show you why it's not the greatest comp. But you copy it, you paste it, you resize it down to 12, make it a little wider, and there you go. So pretty easy to do, would you say? That's pretty easy? Okay. That's basically it. Now, I'm going to get, what I'm going to look for is stuff that is for sale currently. So this one's for 20. There's one right up the corner that's selling right now. This one is for sale at $219. So let's take a look at this one. Hit copy. Put that one down. 12. Bam. For sale. So get some. See, now the problem is this property size is a little bit bigger than ours. See, ours is 1,037. So we're going to look for something that's a little bit around the same size as what ours would be at. And in this case, let's see what this one is. This one's around 1,100 square feet. This is a 3-bedroom. They're asking 172. So we'll use that one as a comp as well. So has this one been fixed up? We don't know. Let's see. Let's see if we can find another one that's around that area. Let's see what this one looks like. 167. So here's a fairly good comp. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, sold for 167. So just kind of go through and just get some stuff to kind of see what's going on. I want to get one more, kind of see what we have. Forgot to actually include this. Sold on. There you go. So is that helpful at all in terms of how to look at stuff?
Right. And you suggest Zillow?
Zillow, use Realtor. I really just anything where you can get data. So if we'll just use Zillow, I guess. Here's one that's in whatever type of condition. This one has newer cabinets, smaller room, updated stuff. It's in the snow. This one looks like it's been around for a while. This sold January for 172, 1,200 square feet, 172. So here's my point. Now, I would feel comfortable, let's just say lowball. I think there was one for 160 that sold. I think this probably would sell for around 160.
Are you talking about the
subject property?
Haven property? Haven Street?
Yeah, the Haven Street. So here's one. This sold in 2012. That's a little old. 2012 is old.
And how far did you want us to search for comps? Distance from the actual house.
Just in the neighborhood. I mean, okay, so here's one that sold for 128 in January of. And let me just put this last one back in here. So here's what I'm looking for, because that's a great question. What area am I looking for? So when looking at this, the subject property that we're looking at is right here. So that's this one that I just clicked on is the subject home. Actually, no, it's not.
You clicked on the wrong one, yeah.
I clicked on the wrong one. All right. So there's a lot of stuff. Here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff for sale in this area at, here this is actually the best way to look at it. Now this, if you can see this, I'm going to try to zoom in.
Yeah, I can see it when you're hovering over it.
Yeah, when I'm hovering over it, $200,000 for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. All right. The subject property we're looking at is right here. So really, what I'm looking at when I'm kind of doing this is I'm looking at major streets. So I'm looking at major cross streets, and I don't want to go over a major cross street. So I try to stay in the neighborhood. This Haven may be a major cross street because it goes through. So really something in this area. This is where the Google Maps comes in, because you can see, how things are compared. But for the most part, I want to stay in the same neighborhood. I don't want to go over major cross streets. For instance, the 45 is a major cross street. West 167th Street is a major cross street. 171st is a major cross street. So this right here is a kind of a dividing line, and you'll see that. So that's kind of what I want to stay away from. So that's from this point. Let's just say we're getting a 160 offer. So after all this, I would say that this property should sell for. I'm going to give it a 160 offer. That's basically what I think the after repair value would be. Now, what I'm going to do with these numbers is a 160 after repair value. This is where it goes into these household incomes, because at 160, I'm basically going to end it here in terms of what we're looking for. But my own opinion is at 160, what you're going to look at on Zillow actually points this out. I'll find a house that's worth 160 for sale. Let's say let's say 170. Nope, it's not giving me what I wanted to. Okay. What Zillow will do, here's 160. Oh, yeah, that one's for sale, I believe. So what Zillow will do is it'll give you a monthly payment, and it'll tell you kind of the mortgage payment on this. $647. You see that?
Right.
Is your estimated mortgage. Now, when you look at 647 and you multiply it by 12, that equals 7,700. If you divide that by, this is why I want the numbers, but if you divide that by your median city income by 53,393, that's a 15%, roughly a 15% debt service coverage ratio. So what that means is that those payments for the average person is going to be 14% of their income or 15% of their income. Now what Fannie Mae does is they look at what Fannie Mae does is, hold on real quick. So what Fannie Mae does is Fannie Mae actually will only lend out to about 30 to 35% of your annual income. So what this is showing us when we go back to that slide, I'm not going to jump there now, but what it's going to show you is when you go back to Zillow, it's going to tell you that the monthly payments were what, $800 or $860. And so your below market rents, all this stuff, if you sell at 160, it's an affordable house, is my point. So the affordability on this stuff is pretty good if you get it at the right price. Now, what we would look at writing an offer on that for is what we'll explain. So once we get these offers down, we're going to pretty much go over what we're going to offer. I would say I would like to, on this specific one, I'd like to do around 40 to 50 cents on the dollar. So if we put a value of this at 160, we're going to want to write an offer on this, what, 80,000, 70, you know.
Okay.
70,000. So that's what we're going to be doing, is writing offers at around 70,000. Because at 70 grand, we could put 20,000 into this, and we're into it for $90,000. Now at $90,000, this is, I'm going really fast through the numbers, but if it's worth 160 and we bought it at you know, we're in it, what did I say, 80, let's say 70 plus 20, so 90, we're in at 90, we now have a $60,000 to $70,000 equity. Is that a pretty good return on your investment?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. Are they going to take the offer? We don't know. This is where we have to start writing offers and figuring it out. Personally, that's kind of how that's what my plan is to put offers out around 40 to 50 cents from the value that we came up with. So that basically is that's all I'm looking for in terms of what we should do for our team on these properties. So any questions that you have?
So just to clarify, when we do write these offers, you want us to write an offer, like you said, 40 to 50 cents on the dollar.
Based on our after repair value, yeah.
Based
so
on
in this
after
case,
repair value.
So yeah. So this after repair would be 160, and then from there just depends on what the banks say, and then we can go from there.
Okay, and I guess maybe it doesn't have to be for the video, but I do have a question about comps with title companies.
Okay, yeah. Just go ahead and ask the question, so somebody else may find this helpful.
Yeah. What about going to title companies in the area and seeing if they can offer us comps for the particular property?
They'll do that if you're a real estate agent. The problem is it costs them money. Like in their back office, they're going to be charged on their center, even though it's really no charge. But for them to do title comps, they've got to take you got a title rep, and then they got a person on their side on the back end that actually is going to run these comps. So you're gonna now put that person to work that the title company is paying. And what I've experienced is when you ask a title company to run comps, they're going to run comps and then send you a bill for about $100 to $175 per property. So they'll go, oh yeah, we'll run comps, and then they'll send you a bill.
Okay.
You'll make that mistake, maybe once or twice. Once, I'm guessing, until you think, that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Now, what they're gonna do, here's what they're gonna do. They're going to take an area, and I'll show you what they'll do. You just go here and do screen sharing.
And these are, but if you're a real estate agent, is it still likely that they'll charge you for the service?
No, but as a real estate agent, what's going to happen is they're actually going to give us access to a website. And so for me, it's called My First Am.
Right.
So My First Am is a realtor website. We get to go on here. We have our own passcode, and that accesses us to all this information. Now, just to make stuff really simple, what the title company is going to do is they're just going to go through. They're going to put in simple criteria. They're going to draw a box around this area. They're going to say, give us sold within the last 60 to 90 days, and then they're just going to give you the top 20 results that come back. They don't filter out anything. They're going to give you the title report for that specific property, but in terms of doing an analysis, seeing what's going on, the condition of the markets, and what's going on around there, they're not going to show that stuff to you. So that's why I'm not really excited when, man, it just got dark in my room.
Yeah.
My office here. So what's going to happen is they're just going to give you data, and then you're just going to have to go through it, and it's really it is helpful. It is helpful, but if you have access to a title company, that's the best place to go. I'll tell you right now. However, the simplest way for most of the people coming on is going to be Zillow or Realtor.com or the county assessor's office, and so really that's what this video is set up for. Real estate agents are actually going to be your best bets more than title companies. So if you get a realtor to help you out, that's going to basically benefit you even more. But good question. Anything else before we stop?
No, I think that's it for me.
All right, cool, man. I'll go ahead and resend this out to you and everyone else. So contact me if you want to start looking at some of these properties and start doing some analysis and writing offers. Talk with you guys soon. Bye.